cost of living in Greenville with inflation in May 2022.
But first, let's hit it! Hi, this is Ellen Victoria. Welcome to our channel.
And if this is your first time in our channel, you wanted to know everything about Greenville, Winterville, Pitt County, all the way to Raleigh, subscribe in our channel and also get notified when we put a new video for you.
Honestly, I get calls, texts, and emails all the time from people like you looking to buy their first home, upsize, downsize, shift, relocate. We love helping people, and that is what we do every single day. And this is what we make this YouTube channel for, so we can share what we know about the area.
Don't forget to call us. We have your back. Let's hit the list. We are excited to share with you this updated cost of living in Greenville with the inflation.
Yeah, because inflation is out of control all over the country, and including here, and we want to talk about it because it's just more than just milk is doubled.
Thank you for watching that video. That is the most viewed video that we have now. We're going to go through a history of Greenville. Greenville is the most populous city in the Pitt County in North Carolina. The number 11 in the most populous in whole North Carolina.
Honestly, what's nice about Greenville, it has this nice, laid back, natural feel to it, and yet we still have some urbanization and urban excitement mixed with this old world charm of old school hospitality. One of the things you love about Greenville, for me, is that when you drive by houses, everybody has a rocking chair on their house, and you can just see people using rocking chairs and sitting outside, and it is such a warm, welcoming feeling that I hope you have that same feeling when you arrive here.
Exactly, and we didn't have this warm feeling when we lived in Miami, when we lived in Pittsburgh, or even in Denver, Colorado, that we loved to live there.
Yeah, we loved all the places that we lived, but this warm, welcoming personality just makes you feel right at home real fast. And so, anyway, let's move into
Let's go to the list. According to salary.com, that is one of the most viewed websites.
Before we get into that, we're going to talk about salary, housing, healthcare, transportation, energy, food, taxes, childcare. We said that, right?
Yes.
Childcare. So, anyway, these are all the things we're going to talk about in this video. So, let's hit it now.
Therefore, my wife just came to the discussion. I was about to say salary.com is the website most viewed, and they listed 5 important factors. Of course, it depends on your lifestyle, but housing, food, healthcare, transportation, and energy, these are the 5 most important category that you're spending money on.
Absolutely. It's not just the price of gas, which is in transportation, which is, again, out of control. So let's move on to it. And he's going to compare us to some areas in the country. So let's talk about salary in and of itself.
Therefore, the other one also that I said depends on the habit of your life that I didn't do in the other video is childcare and also education. Therefore, these 2 factors also come to play when we are talking about cost of living in North Carolina.
Okay, let's hit it now.
Yes, let's go to the housing market. No? Okay. Therefore, let's say in the national average, the rent in whole the country went 28% up the last year, from April 2021 to April 2022.
Not national, right? That's here in Greenville.
Also in the Greenville, but we are about the average of the national.
Oh, right. But we are less than other parts of the country. We are $598 less. The medium is $312 more as statistics every single month, which is crazy. So for $400K, what do you want to say? Therefore,
we are $312 respect to the medium. No, $598 less from the average, but you can find a suite in Greenville from $400 to the house, single family for 3 to 4 bedroom for almost $2,600.
Which is a medium price, and we're talking about a decent sized home here. So for that price, you're getting a decent home.
And then basically from May 2021 to May 2022, how much we had the increase? $152. And according to salary.com and NerdWallet, you should consider the housing is between 30 to 30% of your income goes toward the housing. Either you're renting or you're buying a house. That is super important to know. And from there we can have some comparison from what the housing, if you were purchasing a home, was in different part of the country, and we wanted to basically compare it. For example, in Greenville, what happens? In Greenville, in April 2021 to April 2022, the housing went from, the median house in Greenville went from 160,000 to 199,000 according to Zillow.
And in Winterville, it went from 198K to 248K, which is a 25% increase for both of them, really.
And in Greenville was 24.6. Therefore, don't get scared with this 25%, because we're gonna address for you if you're coming from different part of country. For example, if you're coming from Denver, one of the big city metropolitan, the housing average in April 2021 was 523,000, and now how much is in April 22?
642,000. So that went up 22.7%, and those are much higher numbers. What about Tennessee? People always compare us to Tennessee.
Always people calling us about Tennessee. Tennessee was 227, the median price in April 2021, and now it's 289 in April 2022.
So Tennessee is actually more expensive than Greenville.
Exactly.
Let's talk about New York. We get a lot of New Yorkers.
We have a lot of New Yorkers that want us to help them. Let's say 705,000 in April 2021, and now how much is that?
760,000. So in New York, yours went up 7.7, which is low, but then your numbers were already high to begin with. So
let's go with the Miami people, because we were living there for a long time.
Where we met.
That's where we met and we got married. 397,000 guys in April 2021. And what is in April 2020?
495,000, which is 24.3%. And when we're talking about salary comparison, Miami, you just have rich and poor. You have no middle, and that is kind of the scary part of Miami. Whereas here in Greenville, our numbers are lower, so we have a much more steady flow. So let's just talk. We want to jump into salary?
Yes. Therefore, I just wanted to tell you, still we are 199,000. This is the median.
No, that was last year. It was two.
No, for today. Last year was 160.
I'm thinking Winterville 240.
And now we told you the closest one that we listed here was Tennessee for 289. It's still Greenville is much more affordable in housing.
What about next? What do we call salary now?
Yes. Salary. What is the salary? What is the salary?
Okay, we're just gonna talk.
The salary in Greenville is between $47,000 to $49,000 for average, according to the statistics in 2022. And let's say the rate of unemployment in Greenville is 3.8%. Respect to if you go even to Raleigh, is going to be 5.5%, and if you go to Miami, 7.2%. Therefore, it still is the city that is growing, and rate of employment is much more lower than many metropolitan city that you were looking for.
Okay. And what about comparison, like the salary is impacted by location, no?
Yes. Therefore, salary is much more matter. Do you want to talk about it? Therefore, the salary is super important if you wanted to look at the living wage in Greenville for one adult to have a really comfortable life. You're looking at $16.13.
Okay, and let's just talk about salaries here, right? Here in Greenville, the average nurse is making $30 an hour, and the average cashier at the local grocery store is making $11 on average. So we do have if you just, $16 is where you're going to have a comfortable, that is doable.
And for the two adult, the most affordable the rate is $24.64. And let's not forget, Greenville has lots of potential of big employers. For example, what type of employers
we have? Of course, Vidant, which is the big hospital around here. We also have ECU, DSM, Thermo Fisher. And we just have growing businesses all the time. So those are our big ones. Therefore,
the second one that we wanted to talk is the healthcare. The healthcare, according to salary.com, it's between 9 to 12% of your income goes toward the healthcare. Therefore, healthcare, one of the most important is how many physician per capita you have in Greenville respect to many cities, even in Raleigh, if you wanted to talk about the capital in North Carolina.
Absolutely. We get this call all the time from people who are saying, what about healthcare?
Therefore, if you are VA, we have a hospital near the Wyden Clinic that is super close to the Wyden ECU that you can go there and make an appointment. And let's not forget, we have 349 physician per capita, 100,000 in Greenville,
Absolutely.
Which is a really high. Even in Raleigh, if you wanted to compare that, that is going to be 320. Therefore, still we are higher from physician per capita.
Yeah, which means you can get to your doctor much faster. You can get that health care much faster, which is super important for when you need health care.
Exactly. And let's talk about also in Greenville, we're talking about per year something around 7,000 to 7,500 for your medical or healthcare. That's what we have. Depends on your employer or what you wanted to go with Obamacare. You can line up that for your healthcare. Therefore, that is super important to know. And we are in the average in the middle in the whole 50 states that we are in North Carolina.
Okay, let's talk about transportation now. Let's move on to transportation.
Oh, transportation. Let's say the gas price is really crazy all around the country. Mm-hmm. Do you have any statistic for us for the gas price?
Last time I gassed up, it was $4.19 a gallon, and I lucked out in a place at $4.15. But since I got that last tank, it's now $4.19.
Therefore, before to do that, transportation is 15 to 16% of your income according to salary.com.
Right, and let's compare gas to other places.
Therefore, if you wanted to gas, let's start with the California, no? Beautiful California, $6.05 for the gas.
New York and Colorado are the same here. North Carolina, we're getting the North Carolina numbers. New York and Colorado are pretty much the same. But the other ones are more, no? You guys
North Carolina, more. We are like here in Greenville, we have average $4.15, $4.16 per gallon. And if you go even to Texas, we are talking about $4.30.
And then in Florida, $4.50, Virginia, $4.45, and Pennsylvania, $4.75. And by the time we wrote these numbers, I'm sure it's already changed, and not in a good way. Because I told you I went $4.15, and now I'm.
And New York is $4.90. Therefore, this is the most recent updated with the inflation what we had, and also we wanted to say
let's talk about our utilities.
The insurance is much more lower, the car insurance. When we were in Miami, we were paying $250 for car insurance. And when we moved from Denver and Pennsylvania to here, we had $59 for car insurance. And also, we have a public transportation is not the best. Is running between Monday to Fridays from 7:25 a.m. to 5:15 p.m.
Absolutely. We do get questions about people. And then ECU has its own public transportation
and
for
ECU,
students.
if you're going to East Carolina University, they have their own public transportation.
Okay, let's talk about utilities.
Utility, one of the most important things.
Yes, we have to pay our energy bill.
Therefore, for some house that you have 4 bedrooms, we're talking about 3 to 4 bedroom, you're looking at average $170 to $175.
But let me tell you, here in Greenville, it is one bill. So we're talking electricity, heat, gas, water, sewer. All of that is one bill here. So it is not 4 or 5 different bills.
Exactly. When I say 175, is all comes in one bill and is going to be billed and sent it to your address.
And we know that is not true for Denver, Pittsburgh. We know absolutely not.
In Pittsburgh, for water, we were paying $150 just for water.
Right, and in Florida alone, just to give you the statistics, I think we were paying $150 to $200 just for electricity.
Because of heat.
This is all inclusive.
Therefore, and according to salary.com, the basically energy is 10% of your income. Therefore, you need to be very careful. 10% of your income goes toward the energy. And Greenville one of those places that you can save on your energy bill.
Right, and also we do not have the major companies like Comcast and Verizon. We do not have them here for internet because people do ask about the internet. But we do have alternatives. We have Suddenlink, we have MetroNet. So we do have our own areas where we are getting high-speed internet, and that's how we made this video.
And if you're talking, for example, the service that we're using for Suddenlink, 400 megabytes per second, we pay $62. Therefore, you can definitely compare it if you are getting from Comcast, Verizon, AT&T.
And they all have their own issues, so we're
and they have their own issues,
now
but it's not a bad rate.
Okay, let's talk about food. Food is so important these days.
Well,
now, besides the bird flu thing that killed a lot of chickens and why egg prices are up and like all these crazy things that we read about in the news, let's just I go to the food store and I am going to buy food. This is always an indicator.
Therefore, according to salary.com, 11 to 12% of your income goes to the food.
Right. So what is groceries if you're talking about the national level?
The Greenville still is 95 percentile reserved to the national level. Therefore, we are talking about almost 5% lower than national level. Right. But let's say we're talking about 1 gallon of milk, because that is one of the indicators that no matter where you're living in this country,
this is true,
you can compare it. For example, before when we came to Greenville,
and in that last video,
in the last video, was around less than $2. Now, with all inflation, what it is, Greenville, we are $3.70 to $3.75 for 1 gallon.
And I told my husband yesterday at last night after he had written all the notes that I saw it for $3.54. So maybe it's getting better, but that's what I saw at the store. So I can tell you in the comments if you want to know.
Therefore, these are the most recent statistic that I pull out from the government website.
Right. What are they paying for milk in other places?
Let's say, basically for Denver. If we wanted to talk at Denver is 4.10 per gallon. What about Miami, Florida?
I have no idea.
Miami, Florida, 4.28. Therefore, $4.28. And what is about New York? New York, 4.86.
Oh.
Therefore, and if you're in DC, Washington, DC, $4.94 per gallon. Texas, $4. Therefore, if you're looking at 1 gallon of milk, still Greenville is much more lower than very major cities that we were talking about.
So I don't have to go buy a cow just yet?
We don't need to buy a cow.
I know how to milk it anyway. Let's not move on to taxes.
Taxes. Therefore, flat tax income in Greenville is 5.25%.
Right. And then what about that sales tax?
And sales tax is basically $475 flat plus $225 estate tax. It comes to the total 7%.
Right. So living in Greenville, we do have all these taxes, and other places have. Yes, Florida does. You save less in taxes, but you're still paying property taxes, and you're getting it in other ways. So Texas, California, you guys crazy taxes. Texas, Florida, you have a 0% income tax, which we all know, but 5.25 is pretty low.
And if you want to talk about
that sales tax anyway.
Property tax in the average in Greenville is $1,400 to $1,500, and if you go, for example, to Miami, is around more than $2,200, and Colorado again is going to be $2,100.
And we get some crazy calls from New York where they talk about like $16,000 they're paying in property taxes, and that's why they just want to buy a house here and not pay those taxes. We get those calls all the time.
And also, one of our clients from New Jersey, she said for little townhouse, 1 or 2 bedrooms, she pays $3,600 for that, I don't know, 700-800 square feet in New Jersey.
I mean, that's quite a lot and a big difference. Wow, this video is getting really long, so let's move on to apparel. Clothes.
Apparel and clothes, I mean, is 3 to 4% of basically your income. But what is important
is the healthcare. You want to hit
we
our
did
daycare.
The health. We already
Daycare.
That is what we didn't cover in the other video, and I know many of you that have kids still, and you are very curious. Therefore, if we wanted to compare it, average of daycare for 5 days in Greenville is between $660 to $720 with average, the median is going to come $700.
When that's for 5 days full time. Now, say you do want like just a drop-in daycare. We do have drop-in daycares too, and you can compare it to Denver, where we know what was the Denver number before we get into the
Denver
drop-in?
number is crazy. $1,200 to $1,800 for 5 days a week for the daycare.
And we have drop-in daycare around here as well that is really reasonable. For instance, if we want to go out for a couple hours on ourselves, it's going to cost us about $30 to get our kids in drop-in daycare. Why? Because it's $6.50 an hour for the first child, $3.50 an hour for the second child. Yes, you can pay for some food there, so if they want to eat, you can have food. But again,
$2,
if we're going out a
$3.
couple
We're not
hours,
talking about like a $20, like a $2, $3.
which is we're very grateful because
Therefore,
they're good.
we are very grateful. We could leave our kids for a couple hours. Two of our kids, and then we paying like almost $30,
and that's in there getting food and whatever. So, and that's if we need to do something.
Therefore, if you wanted to daycare, also this is that we need. And also,
let's just talk about fitness real quick before you head out there, right? You want to mention fitness really quickly, just for an instance. For a single person going to swim in a private pool, it's $58 a month around here. The whole family, $120. Then, if you want $119. Then, if you want to talk about getting your kids private swim lessons, our private swim lessons are pretty cheap around here. I don't remember the number, but it's affordable. And then they also have group things you can actually afford to teach your kids important things. Other than that, we have walking, hiking. What else we got?
We have walking, and also if you wanted to go very cheap, we had the Planet Fitness that you can have no commitment, $59 a startup, $15 per month.
But if you want to go across the street to the Ninja Warrior
$30 for annual.
Right, we have ninja, karate, everything else around here for fitness. So, and then we just have outdoors, and we go outdoors all the time, which is lovely. Why? Because our weather is awesome. No, we're not Florida, but we can actually go out. We get cold, it's 34, and then the high in the 90s. So our heating bills and our air conditioning is not as high as other places. So.
Exactly. Therefore, we have a very moderate and always green. That's why they put it Greenville, because we always are green.
Okay.
And we love the nature, and 40 minutes from the beach.
Yeah.
And we had more than 20 minutes video for you. This is the longest video that we put, but we tried to cover everything with the inflation.
Yeah.
I hope you loved it. Please don't forget to call us. We are here for you.
And we can talk about how you can kind of come here and join us here in Greenville.
And
we love it here.
I hope you have a wonderful day, guys, and see you next video, and talk to you soon.
Bye.